Probably the single most unique thing about Atarism is its incredible view on myth. It draws from everything, different cultures, different legends, different stories, into one homogeneous monomyth, like Joseph Campbell's The Hero of a Thousand Faces, the idea of this hero that recurs throughout all time. This can be seen in Jesus Christ and the Apostles, Jason and the Argonauts, Thomas Jefferson and the Founding Fathers. All of these different stories are seen as equal. Whether one event actually happened or not is irrelevant. They all, in the end, are just a story. Stories are important to the Atarist belief. They believe that any story are all just expressions of the human psyche. And they believe that this is highly sacred. And their goal is to merge reality and the legend. And directly because of this, they look to a very specific medium of storytelling as being the most sacred. And surprisingly, this is video games. Now that may be really strange to us, because to our Western faith we might think, well, video games as being sacred, that's really weird. But it's the only medium that allows the viewer to also be the hero. Their steps behind the controller affect the steps that the hero takes in their journey. The difference between the audience and the events are seamless. And so a lot of the conventions of video games directly affect what Atarism is. What Atarists gain from this is a view that every single follower is a new incarnation of this hero. They gain an almost solipsistic view that the rest of the world is just to create conflict that they must surmount. Because of this belief that they are the center of their legend, they have this very unique morality. They believe that good and evil are equal, they're just two different paths. This is very different from karma that's present in Hinduism and Buddhism, where good deeds are the only way to progress spiritually. In Atarism, both good deeds and bad deeds are just two different paths leading to the same goal, and that goal is of the hero overcoming challenges. To give an example, if there was a very important test that two students were taking, if one student was to stay up all night studying meticulously for this test, and another student was to laze off and not study, and then when the test came, decided to cheat, both of these two different paths, that of the cheater and the good student, are seen as equal but divergent. Both succeed in the main goal of Atarism, the hero overcoming the world's obstacles.
The concept of Atarism is surprisingly self-disciplined and tightly structured. Not only is the hero supposed to partake in his journey, he is supposed to record anything and everything that happens during his journey, all of his progress. This is essential towards him gaining experience. And gaining experience turns into experience points, which is essential for him in leveling up. Leveling up is important because it turns him into a new person. He transcends into a new being, becoming stronger, wiser, smarter, becoming a whole new person. Leveling up is a concept that has been seen everywhere, not only just in video games. It was seen in Siddhartha Gautama when he was becoming the Buddha while under the Bodhi tree. This is also seen as a rite of passage. This hero is in society. He goes through a trial. He is taken out of society, goes on his journey, records all of his progress, and comes back into society as a new transcendent man, a new being.
Now, experience points can translate into all of these strengths, but they can also translate into supernatural ability. Atarism doesn't have a very typical view on the afterlife. They believe that there is nothing after death. Once you are dead, there is nothing left of you but your legend. But they do have an ability to return to life after death. This is through a process known as saving. Saving is very common in almost every video game, having a file, saving it, and then reloading it according to the Atarist view. A follower can enter this period of extreme meditation and self-reflection. After this point, if they were to get harmed or die, they would then be able to somehow transport themselves back to that period of meditation with new realization. They can then go through the same actions, but avoid what hurt them the first time. This is an ability that very few followers have. It requires intense practice and dedication to master. It takes an enormous amount of experience points to translate into an additional life that the follower can then use. Overall, Atarism is probably one of the strangest and most easily misunderstood religions, but it is probably one of the most absolutely fascinating religions out there, and I am very, very lucky to be able to study it as I have.